93 Boxing, I'm back with another video. Too many people running around saying Sean Porter won the fight and Garcia needs to stop being a sore loser. Because Garcia did respond back and saying that he believes he won the fight. And he did say he landed about 50% of his power shots and made Porter miss about 300 of his power shots. You know, Sean Porter is the most overrated welterweight out there. And I said this before. Sean Porter is a guy who looks like he's doing more than what he actually is in the ring. I've said this about a year ago in my previous channel. And I also said in a tweet, if this fight goes to the 12 rounds, this will be controversial because most people will think Porter won due to him throwing a bunch of punches. Looks like a lot of action when you throw a bunch of punches, but when you look at it closely, Porter wasn't landing shit, man. Porter wasn't doing shit. Porter didn't do anything, honestly. These guys running around saying that Keith Thurman won the fight versus Porter, but how can you have Keith Thurman winning the fight versus Porter and Danny Garcia losing the fight against Porter? They're saying, oh, Porter outworked him. Porter outworked Thurman as well. You know, there's 4 criteria to judging a fight: clean, effective punching, effective aggression, ring generalship, and defense. And undoubtedly, clean, effective punching is the most important. You know, both. And my point of this video is, if you think Thurman won the fight versus Porter, no way can you think that Garcia won the fight versus Porter. No way can you think that Porter won the fight versus Garcia. Garcia did pretty much the exact same thing as Thurman did, except he did it better. I'm going to explain this. Clean, effective punching, the first category that I mentioned for judging a round. Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia both landed the cleaner, effective shots against Porter. Their shots, you know, Porter did outland Keith Thurman by the punch stats, and he outlanded Garcia. But the shots that Porter landed, they were not of the same effect as the Garcia or a Thurman punch. Porter didn't land it as cleanly. A lot of them were partially blocked. A lot of them, you know, Thurman and Garcia rolled with. Particularly Garcia, he rolled with a lot of those shots. And a lot of shots that he landed to the body, some of them, Porter was kind of smothering himself. Therefore, the shots that he did land while smothering Garcia, because he was smothering himself, he couldn't get off any significant power on those shots, on some of those shots. I'm not saying he hit Garcia with all kinds of pillows to the body, but a lot of shots he did smother himself with. A clean shot that he did land, even those were not as effective as the Garcia shot or a Thurman shot. So both of the Garcia-Porter and the Thurman-Porter fight, Thurman and Garcia had a big edge when it comes to clean, effective punching. Effective aggression, that's one of them. Now, you could say Porter was more aggressive against Garcia, so Porter definitely wins that aggression part. The key thing is, and you know, I don't have a problem with you giving it to Porter, but the key thing is effective aggression. What does effective aggression mean? Effective aggression means, like, I'll give you an example. When Porter was with Thurman, and if you remember him hitting a couple of body shots that hurt Thurman a bit, and then Thurman ran from one end of the ring to the other, that is effective aggression. When you're moving forward, throwing a bunch of punches, and some of them landing, and then that allows the opponent to back up, and you're aggressively coming forward. But you know, it has to be effective. If an opponent is backing up due to you throwing a punch, and if you landed that punch and that's why he's backing up, that's effective aggression. If you're throwing a bunch of punches and it's not landing and your opponent's still backing up, that's called effective defense from your opponent. Sean Porter was more aggressive against Thurman. He was more effective. You know, the effective aggression of Porter was better against Thurman than it was against Garcia. Garcia was not being able to. He was not maneuvered by Porter around the ring the way he maneuvered Thurman around the ring. The way Porter maneuvered Thurman around the ring. Therefore, yeah, you could give it to Porter when it comes to effective aggression, but only slightly. I mean, at least definitely less than what, you know. The effective aggression that you scored for Porter in the first fight will be a lot less. Then basically what I'm trying to say, I'm fucking up everything, but what I'm trying to say is Porter was not as effective with his aggression against Garcia as he was with Thurman. Hence, and remember that clean punching, Garcia did as good as Thurman did pretty much. But when it comes to effective aggression, Porter was not able to be as effective with his aggression against Garcia as he was with Thurman. When Porter would try back Garcia up with clean, effective shots, Garcia many times would stand his ground and try to get his own shots off. And a lot of times he was successful, landing clean, hard body shots, most of them accurate. A lot of them accurate, and a lot of headshots as well. So you could even, and Garcia even backed up Porter, which we don't see often. So, arguably you could give it to Garcia, but I give it to Porter, slightly though. When it comes to ring generalship, again, Thurman many times did not show he was the ring general. And it was Porter, he kind of did. He initiated the actions, and he actually initiated, or rather dictated where the fight would take place in the ring. A lot of times he would bully Thurman into the ropes, and he would just tee off on Thurman with the body shots. But with Garcia, Porter couldn't back Garcia up the way he wanted to. Garcia was able to hold his ground. Do you remember the fight being near the ropes often, where Garcia is pinned to the ropes? No. It's hard to do that to Garcia. Every time Garcia is near the ropes, he would clinch or maneuver Porter, or at least let his shots off, and then move around off it. Porter was not able to be the ring general the way he was against Thurman, and I would actually give the edge to Garcia a little bit. Garcia wanted that to be in the center of the ring, the fight to be in the center of the ring, right? When he wanted to come forward, he had success coming forward. When he wanted to go backwards, he had success going backwards. When Porter would try to come forward, and many times Garcia would just, stand firm on the ground, stand firm wherever he is, not letting go of his position, and then often getting the better of Porter. So when it comes to ring generalship, even if you lean towards Porter, you can definitely agree that he was not the ring general like the way he was against Thurman. Now when it comes to defense, again, Thurman and Garcia edge it out versus Porter. Garcia made Porter miss about 75% of his punches. I don't know how many punches in terms of percentage that Thurman made Porter miss, but he made him miss quite a lot. Now you look into the four categories, okay? Defense and clean, effective punching. Thurman and Garcia did equally as good almost. When it comes to ring generalship and effective aggression, Thurman was not as effective with his aggression as Garcia was against Porter. Thurman was not definitely not the ring general against Porter as Garcia was. Garcia showed a lot of. I was really impressed with Garcia. I thought he did a really good fight. Yeah, man. I thought he showed a lot of good things. He looked good coming forward. He looked good coming backwards. He was able to stand his ground against Porter. He did clinch, but at the same time, he made Porter clinch as well. And we don't see that often. Porter was initiating some of the clinch in the fight with Garcia. I was super impressed with Garcia. I thought he actually won the fight. He landed the cleaner shots. It was scary how accurate Danny Garcia was. It was scary, and his defense was pretty good. Yeah, man. I can't see. I can't see why people would say that Porter won, because they don't know they don't know anything about boxing. That's why they say that. But yeah, man, I think Danny Garcia won. I feel like I'm going to treat it as if Danny Garcia won as well, because I feel like that scoring was unjust. And anyone who supports that, most boxing fans will support that scoring. But I feel that boxing fans not knowing shit about boxing is ruining boxing. And hence I made this video to let people know that Danny Garcia, I believe, won the fight. And if you look at the four criteria to judge a fight, you realize that Danny Garcia clearly won the fight, and there's no way you can argue. You can't argue looking at those four different criteria that Sean Porter fulfills those criteria more than against Garcia, any more than Garcia did. Or, at least Garcia fulfilled those criteria better than Porter did when Porter faced Garcia, and also better than Thurman did when Thurman faced Porter. I believe that's a fact. Garcia showed many different looks. He's done well. He showed versatility. And yeah, that's really all I have to say. Don't forget to comment down below. Subscribe to my channel, 93 Boxing. I'm out. 93 Boxing, I'm back with another video. Too many people running around saying Sean Porter won the fight and Garcia needs to stop being a sore loser. Because Garcia did respond.